Hey, everybody. Happy Wine Wednesday. Got my wine right here. Took me a second. Having some technical difficulties, but I think that we are live. Anybody who joins, let me know. Oh, I hear me. There we go. All right. Anyhow, so in the midst of this fun-filled quarantine time, have to. Oh, jeez. Okay. There we go. Have to first off apologize to anybody who noticed that we did not go live last week. And I'll tell you the honest to goodness truth, I didn't even realize it was Wednesday until like 10 p.m. So my days and nights are so mixed up. Even I'm not sure how all of your children are doing like e-learning and whatever they're calling it, but mine only have school Wednesday through Friday now, and so I don't even know what day it is most of the time. I know it's shocking because I'm so well put together, right? Also, I'm not sure why my little screeny thingy is so small today. I'll have to work on it next week, guys. But I did want to jump in here, see if anybody was wanting to chit chat about seahorses, find out how all of you are doing, and etc. So let me get myself off. Let me start off right. And let's see if we have anybody with us so far. Doesn't look like it. So let's just see. I know that the last time I spoke with Dan, he was feeling much better. I don't know if anybody saw his post, but I believe that he is on the mend, thank goodness. Definitely interested in hearing how all of you are doing. It's just been hectic, you know? I know it has for everybody. So, again, here I am. Just wanted to jump in case anybody did want to talk Seahorse or let me know how you guys are doing. Um, I had last week was really hard also because um, anyone who is familiar or who is involved in the reefing community will have already heard this, but um, a very good friend of mine who was really involved in the community and in most of the groups she was an admin and just did so much to help newcomers. Lori Johnson passed away. Nothing to do with COVID, but she passed away last week, and so that was really hard on me and I'm sure a lot of you. So last week was just kind of a bummer. And I see Ray has joined, so I don't, I still haven't processed really, to be honest, that whole thing. But again, I think that it was almost a good thing that we didn't have Wine Wednesday last week because, kind of like a moment of silence kind of thing. But hello, Ray. How are you doing today?
I've done a lot better. I haven't had any sleep for a few days.
Oh no, why?
Oh, the pain.
Oh no. Still not any doing any better on that, huh?
Well, it was better for a while there, but then yesterday it started acting up again.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
last night, I don't think I got any more than about an hour and a half sleep.
Oh jeez.
I stay awake. Right now, I'm just trying to get a bite to eat.
Completely
I,
understand.
I forgot about Wine Wednesday here, so I was sitting here doing up some homemade wieners that I'd made, and all of a sudden I hear that beep on the computer.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're always glad when you come. I'm sorry things are going so rough. I'll tell you, one of the best things that's happened for me within this, everybody's at home and we're all stuck together time is that my significant other got so bored that he started watching cooking videos. And so I'm getting all these fabulous meals. Not probably good for the waistline, but hey, I'll take it. It's wonderful. Um, but you had some wieners going, huh? Is that what you said?
I just need to find. I need to find some more um, yeast for my baking, though.
Oh, yeah. Is it hard to find right now?
I've
Is it?
got a little bit over a jar left. There's only 113 grams in the jar, eh? And for each loaf of bread, I need 8 grams.
Mm. So yeah, you're really running low.
You can't even find Hamburg in the stores around here.
Oh my gosh. See, it was like that here for the first say week, But now they've put limits on stuff, and you can only get so much, and they've pretty much restocked pretty well around here. But sounds like
Well, they have limits of two packs, sometimes one pack, depending on what it is. But
still
the
off the
biggest
shelves,
thing
huh?
is it's not coming. It's like I haven't figured out why, but there's egg farmers around here. They're taking truckloads of eggs around to the what do you call them? The sites where the places where people that don't have anything go to get food, and that
Mm-hmm.
food bank.
Okay.
Such a simple thing for me to can't be able to get out. Anyway,
Okay.
they're taking these eggs around to the food bank because restaurants and everything are closed, and these eggs would normally be used up by them.
Sure.
But in the stores, trying to find eggs is hard. And when they are there, you're limited to two packs of uh, of eggs when you do get them. Try and get flour, no way.
Oh
Try
man.
and get yeast, no way.
Wow.
All sorts of stuff gone.
It's
And of
kind of.
course,
Go ahead.
the shelves are stocked full of stuff that nobody wants.
Oh yeah, I know. It's amazing to me too, because all of the stuff that people that they act like you want is all. You are absolutely right. The shelves are full of that crap. Uh, it's very interesting to me too. I've noticed too a lot of what confused me though is that a lot of like the organic and good for you stuff still sits on the shelf. So it kind of shows that we're
Oh, yeah, but if it's good for me, I can't stand it.
exactly. Uh, um, well, I'm sorry to hear that. And do you post your? Are you a foodie? Do you post your what you bake, or no?
Just on my Facebook page, which is basically for family. There's
Gotcha.
a couple of Seahorse people on it as well, but basically it's for
Sure.
like why would why would you want to sit and see what I'm doing in my daily life? So
It's fascinating though.
most
Everybody
of the
loves that
Seahorse
stuff.
people, yeah,
I'm
most of the Seahorse people, I don't accept the
sure.
request for the connection. I'm not going to be interested in their pages, and I can't see that they have any interest in my family situation.
Sure.
Um, and when it comes to okay, if I post up like I make honey crullers, and because it's my favorite donut,
Mm-hmm.
if I put something on there, um, it doesn't really have any interest for anybody else. And if somebody else wants to, they can do the same thing I do.
Yeah.
Go on Google honey crullers and find out how to make them and do it.
I mean, your opinion is not. I mean, the way you look at this is not wrong. It's pretty interesting the way that we are all in this current generation so involved in each other's lives, and when you're saying that, I'm thinking, gee, I suppose it's true. I suppose everybody doesn't want to know every time I make something new, but we share. It's good. To each his own. I completely understand your re- wanting to be private in your personal stuff. So I get that. And there's always the groups, Seahorse Sources groups, and etc., where we can share stuff. Speaking of which, anything new with your seahorses or tanks or anything?
Yeah.
Oh,
A while ago, I'm not sure, it's at least 2 weeks, it might be 3 weeks now, when I was saying that I got behind and cleaned out the barb tank because
right.
of the spinal pain and that. Well, now I've got two males with pouch emphysema.
Oh no. Yeah.
Uh, I did the usual thing when you first do it. I flush them pouches with clean water, and but now I notice it's coming back again.
Oh
So I'm
man.
gonna have to do something more drastic. The only problem is you can't get any medicine anymore.
Right. For anyone who watches this later or happens to jump in, pouch emphysema, there's a very good write up about it in Seahorse Sources group. Dan wrote a lot about it. And one of his theories that I think is being proven right now in Ray's tank is basically that it has to do with, I don't want to say has to do with cleanliness, but it's based on the amount of
Oh,
organics. Huh?
water quality.
Water quality, yeah, and how much that's why it's so important to like keep up on your cleaning and everything because it just seems to happen. I've had it happen too. So Ray, you got behind, you just noticed that they, and I'm sorry, also that what pouch emphysema is when the seahorses.
Started about a week after I finally got the water change done. Well, when I talked to you last, um, that was on a Wednesday. It was the next day on the Thursday when I finally did it, and that was 13 days
Mm,
instead of 10 days, which is my usual routine.
gotcha. It's amazing that that little amount of time would make such a difference, but I guess we just.
Well, because I'm pushing the boundaries.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. One another reason, guys, where why when you aren't as advanced in seahorse keeping as Ray or Dan or someone might be, it's always better to keep your number of seahorses and the size of the tank um, based on the recommendations so that you have more room to play with when it comes to this stuff. Because yeah, that sucks. And pouch emphysema is where the pouch looks like it's constantly really big and pregnant, and the seahorse has a hard time swimming. Typically ends up at the top of the tank a lot, like almost like a balloon filled, their pouch, and they're rising to the top constantly. Um, so you did the first step. You flush the pouch with water, with clean salt water, right? And then now what is the medication you're going to look for, right?
Well, normally I'd be using
Uh-huh.
the Furan tube, but like it's just not available anymore. The only way is to go to a vet if the vet will see them. There is one place in London, but it's $89 just for the visit.
Oh my gosh. I know, and I don't know how it works where you are. I know I've talked with Tom Hornsby quite a bit, and Tom had a vet that was just extremely good about understanding that we're talking about seahorses. So she would, let Tom show the problem and explain it and actually subscribe prescribe something based on that. And here in the US, they wanted me to bring my seahorse, set up a tank at the vets, and leave the seahorse for observation for days. It's like by the time I do all that, it's kind of rough. But do they actually see? I require seeing the seahorse where you are.
Yeah, you have to take the seahorse to him, but you can take it in a bag. But he says if he doesn't see anything,
Yeah,
then he can't do anything.
right. And then you've spent the money for nothing. It's tough, really
He's
tough.
limited to like he's got reference books that he can go to.
Right.
And I said, well, probably knowing the seahorse industry and I've been in it for decades now, and uh, your books are probably out of date anyway.
Right. I know. Isn't that terrible? I know. Oh,
And
gosh.
he won't go by the information that I provide him that is online.
And there's no other options. That's the only exotic vet near you.
I don't know of any,
Mm. That is tough. Boy, I tell you. I know. And you
but
mentioned,
you're going to end up with that too because like Australia's that way, UK's like that. A lot of Europe's like that already.
sure. I mean, yeah, here I could only find one exotic vet within like, states of difference, and they wanted me to bring the seahorse and leave the seahorse, and I just wasn't. And it was very expensive, as you described. So I just hope that some of you out there have good vet relationships. A lot of times, if you have a vet that you know well, that you go to for your cat or your dog or whatever, then they will be more likely to work with you when it comes to the seahorse kind of thing. I know that was Tom's case, but
The
anyways,
vet I have for my dog, uh, he's not interested because he doesn't know anything about it and he doesn't
right.
want to make a mistake.
Well, and that makes sense. It's a very tough situation.
He's honest about it.
Yes, I agree.
The other guy that will see them, he doesn't know anything about them,
Yeah.
but he'll look it up.
I know. It's very frustrating. I had the exact same experience. So what will you do? I mean, what are you going to try? Just continue trying to.
Well, I keep trying to find some black market furan, and but in the meantime, I'll just keep flushing with the fresh salt water.
Yeah.
Um, I've even thought of trying just uh, plain RODI water without any salt to see if that does anything.
Huh, that would be, yeah, I'd be interested to know how that turns out for you. I know Dan did a lot of work with that, and again, guys, his write up about this in Seahorse Sources group is very good. Now, help me remember, Ray, because it's been a while since I've had an actual issue that I had to deal with some of this stuff. Luckily for me, likely because I've just had my seahorses for so long that they're kind of, and I'm down to a routine where whatever. Anyways, but isn't Diamox sometimes used, or is that just for like the gas bubble?
I never had any luck using Diamox for poach
Really,
uh, demon. Diamox is something I have.
really,
As a matter- Yeah.
and that's crazy because it's so hard to get here.
As a
That's
matter of fact, it just happens to be right here.
oh my gosh, how funny! That is crazy because that's something that's that is very hard to get here. So that's typically used for the tail bubbles, but not for pouch emphysema. Is that
Yeah, that or if you've got an internal organ uh,
right?
problem, it's not always successful, in my opinion, with when you have internal organ failure, but it does work sometimes.
Hmm,
So I'm imagining it depends what that organ failure is, because without pathology results, you don't actually know.
right,
There could be swelling in that, and you can know from that, or sometimes I assume that it's an internal organ problem with the way the seahorse acts. There is absolutely nothing visible,
right,
uh, but if it's not eating and it's very lethargic and so on, and especially if it seems to be going downhill, then I assume that's something, it's an internal problem. And if I've been using Furan 2 when I used to have it, and the same thing was happening, then I would switch to the Diamox or acetazolamide, which is on this bottle here.
right.
Um, and then sometimes I've been successful and sometimes I haven't. Now
Jeez.
that's over a lot of years.
Right, of course.
That's 18 years.
I've got a really quick question for you about that because I just got through saying that I don't have any problems with seahorses, and I just realized that I do have one. So I'm curious what your initial thoughts might be. A seahorse I've had for a really long time, and she doesn't look thinned out. Like she doesn't look as if she's not eating, but I never see her eat anymore. Like she'll not go after the food. So if you have so just saying, let's say she is not eating. If she wasn't eating, do you automatically think that it's something to do? What do you think instantly?
Um, Basically, I watch it and I can't say how many days. It's something that probably varies each time I've had that.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't had something like that for quite a while. But after a few days, then I would put it into a hospital tank
Mm-hmm.
where I count the pieces of food that I put in.
Oh, that's smart.
Sure, it has been eating. And if it hasn't been eating, then I would try the live food. And if that doesn't entice it, then first thing I'd do is freshwater dip.
I was thinking that.
And if there's no parasite activity, then I assume that it's if there's nothing else external, I that's the situation where I would assume there's an internal organ failure.
Gotcha.
And I would try the Diamox. But often I've used the Furan 2 when I had it and the Diamox together just
Oh,
to try and cover all bases.
sure. Yeah, I've had luck with certain things using the Furon 2 and triple sulfa because I could not get Dimox no matter what I did. I couldn't get it. So, anyways, but so my next question, I guess, would be because I've never really understood this. Dan's tried many times to explain it to me, and it just doesn't sink in my head, apparently. If I have done absolutely nothing different, there's no new tank mates. It's the same aquarium it's been for, way over a year. I mean, many years, and no new nothing changed, no one added, no one switched. How would a parasite be? How would the parasite get in? Or is this one of those where
Well,
they're always present? Huh?
parasites are always present. It doesn't matter what tank you have, what fish,
Gotcha.
seahorses or other marine fish, parasites are always
Gotcha.
there. And as long as under normal situations, the immune system of the seahorse in this case is doing its job, then it's okay.
Sure.
If something, it could be just something that the seahorse perceives. It could be something that's changed in the tank. Maybe water quality has taken a year to get bad enough to be a problem, and it hasn't allowed the bacteria to take over yet, but it's still stressing the seahorse. Like it doesn't matter what the reason, the stress destroys the immune system, and then parasites, like bacteria, just multiply. And
Yeah.
you can't put it in cooler water like you can with a bacterial infection to help it because that doesn't matter a damn to the parasites.
Right, but and as you said, because that's the first thing that came to my mind is if that be the case. Thank you for that explanation. That makes sense. But if that be the case, then freshwater dip. See if the seahorse does better in a hospital tank, and then if the same thing happens again when it goes back to the display tank, then obviously I need to start investigating the root cause of the problem in the tank. That might
I
not
don't
be
put it
obvious.
back in the display tank until I have it resolved.
Sure, I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm thinking down the line because I've always been like, well, if you, one of the biggest things that people say a lot is that when you put a seahorse in a hospital tank, get them better, but then put them right back into the display tank where the problem was. But basically, I think what you're saying is part of the hospital tank treatment is strengthening their immune system, getting them less stressed so they can fight it
Well, the big
themselves.
thing is when you don't know what it is, you want to observe and be able to know, for instance, with the food, how much it is getting as opposed to are the others all eating the food and this one not getting any, or
Sure.
is it getting some and you're just not able to see it?
Right.
So when it's on its own in a bare bottom tank, which is limited to what's in it, basically some hitching and the open-ended airline, you have a lot better chance of determining whether it is actually feeding.
Very.
And it also makes it easier if you're going to try live food. You need less live food to put in the tank because it's only a 10 gallon as opposed to 30 or bigger.
Well, fantastic advice. I think that's what I'm going to do. If I don't, if I don't see her eating today, I'm going to maybe hook her up with a 10-gallon hospital tank because I certainly wouldn't want to lose her at this point. Um, Last question about that. What is, I know there are varying opinions about the lifespan of a seahorse, and obviously, seahorses kept in captivity have proven in at least my opinion, that the original thought that they only lived like 1 to 2 years completely inaccurate. But in your experience, Ray, how long do seahorses typically live before they might pass from just old age?
5 to 7 on the average, but you get the odd one that will go longer.
Sure. And what are the signs that you? I mean, like if I lost a seahorse at this point, it would frankly be in that range. So I'm hoping I don't, guys. I really hope I don't. But is there any way to know that it was just old age, or is it just
No,
you know?
like and the ones that I assumed were old age, I don't know that for sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
Uh, Maybe I did something wrong, or maybe I didn't clean the water enough at that time, and something else caused it. Maybe they would have gone 10 years instead of say 5 or 8 or whatever. Um, it's something I don't know because I'm not going to go to the expense of
Right.
having a pathologist check it all out.
No, I hear you. Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna play with it. I'm gonna try the hospital tank and hope for the best over here. I'll let you guys know how it goes. And if
They
anyone,
usually
go
go
ahead.
pretty fast when it's ones that I'm thinking are dying because of old age.
You said what? They go
It
fast?
usually happens quite fast.
Okay. Is it usually? tank wide also? Or like if you've had seahorses for a certain amount of time, do they all kind of go at the same time? Does that
Oh
make
no,
no? Okay. Okay. Well, I know with
just like people.
I know that was a silly
You
question.
could have like I've got six brothers and sisters. Uh, One that was 10 years younger than me, he's been dead a few years now. The others are still going, but I'm the oldest. But the thing is, any of us could die at any time.
Mm.
And I know from when I was in high school, my grade 9 class, there's only two of us still alive.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm
So
glad
there's,
you are.
well, sometimes with this pain, I'm not so glad.
Oh, right. I hear you. Hey, hey Cindy, I just saw you come in. And you said dipping in safety stop from Blue Life for sorry, reduction of parasites, bacteria. No, great suggestion. When I do put my seahorses or anything for that matter into a quarantine tank, I try not to medicate immediately. Like I'll do the observation, like Ray was talking about, make sure that I'm actually right. But great suggestion. If I figure out she's not eating and it probably is due to parasites, then great suggestion. If a freshwater dip doesn't work, I may just have to look that up. Have you used the safety stop? I've never personally used it. I've seen Milev's Reef talk about it, but I've never used it myself. And you asked how old the seahorse was. She's good. She's probably a good 6 or 7 years old. I'd have to check to be absolutely sure, but she's quite old. So yeah, interesting. And how are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope things are going. I saw. I think it was your post, maybe somebody else's, where you guys are still getting in coral and stuff during this craziness. I can't find anybody still selling stuff. So, anyways, so Ray, I didn't mean to go all sidetracked, but and just regarding your pouch emphysema, please let us know how it goes because I'm such a bummer. I hate when that happens. Have you ever
Hopefully, I can tell you next week that it hasn't happened anymore.
crossing fingers? Have you in your experiences throughout the years when you've had a seahorse get emphysema, have you been able to cure it often? Does it usually work out for you?
Yes,
Yes, that's such a great. Okay,
I haven't had it happen for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now, but um, it's one of the things that I have always been successful at.
oh, that's so great. I'm so. Oh, I hope you come back with good news. Yeah, I never did well with pouch emphysema. I only had two males who got it at different times, and one was successful and one wasn't. So I don't have a great record, but I'm glad you do, and definitely let us know. I was hoping Dan would jump in today. If anybody hears from him, maybe he's working or something. I just hope he's all right. But
He
his
posted he's been feeling a lot better.
yeah, I did see the post, and I last time I talked to him, he said he seemed on the mend. But this stuff's scary stuff these days. Are you any word about the end of quarantine in your neck of the woods?
No, because our curve was going to be way behind yours.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, first of all, it didn't get to any big proportion there. Like here in London, we have, I think, 11 people dead at this point, and our population, we're not a big city. We're about 320,000 people. And like I say, we've only got 10 or 11 dead now. Was 10 now. Another one died today.
Oh man.
So we're up to 11 now. So we're down the scale quite a ways. But what we did do, we put in the social distancing a lot sooner.
Uh,
So hopefully, um, like South Korea and some of the others that started early, hopefully that'll benefit us. It doesn't mean that in the end, it's not going to be a similar result because all you're really doing with this is stretching out the disease instead of it running up and affecting a whole bunch of people in, say, over a 3 month period. You may end up with the same number of infections, but it might be spread over, say, 8 months.
mm,
But that allows the healthcare system to look after it better. And believe me, if you've got a lot of nurses and doctors trying to do 10 times as many patients as they should be, there's going to be a lot more people that live when they're only maybe 2 or 3 times more than what they should be looking after.
Hmm. I mean, I hear you. I get it. I get the idea. Um, and I just hope it does work out for everyone. I really do. But it ah, I get the point, and I'm so I'm so glad that we're doing something to try to save as many people as possible. But man, I'm going crazy in my house. I gotta say,
Uh,
Cindy, I just saw your response that you used on your fish. Hey, if you're still watching, where do you get it? Where's the best place to get it? And is any place able to send it now? That like currently, um, let me know or message me if you don't want to talk in here. But and what'd you say, Ray? Did you say something else? Oh, you okay?
no,
Okay. Um, well, I'm gonna check comments, see what else is going on. So we've talked about a lot tonight, guys. We got Ray who's gonna update us on his pouch emphysema. We got me who's gonna quarantine and update on whether or not the seahorse is actually got some parasites going on or what. And if I do like a freshwater dip or something, I'll try to tape it because I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about that. But any questions that we've had or missed? I figured it'd be a quick one tonight because we missed last week, but
yeah, we didn't get a big following here tonight.
I know. Well, a lot of people, it's okay. People come when they want. I'm good with it. A lot of people tend to watch it afterwards, which to me is so weird because, like, come during the Wine Wednesday so we can all chat instead of just listening to me and Ray talk. But
On the night when I either have to leave early or don't make it at all, then that's what I do. I wait till you have it on
sure.
there, and then I watch it through. Now, mind you, I'll skip
When I
towards the
ramble.
every second.
Right. No, I hear you, and that's fine. Well, for tonight, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off. I'll try to reach Dean on the side, guys, and make sure he's good. And maybe he'll come next week if he can. But I hope all of you guys are having a great quarantine on your own, and I hope all your seahorses are okay, doing well. Please make sure to comment or come next week and ask any questions or anything you want us to talk about. This is the kind of stuff that I always hope for when, not that I ever want people to have problems, but when we can actually talk about it, maybe it can help somebody else. And so, okay, and Cindy, you said through Blue Life USA and Marine Depot. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna order me some up in case I need to use it because these days it's better to have on hand, in my opinion, because you never know when you're gonna be in a situation like where Ray can't get Furon too, which really sucks. So, but anyways, all right, guys. Well, I smell my dinner. I gotta go, so I'm gonna cut it short tonight. But I will see you guys next week and try to have a topic of conversation for us to chat about, and we'll get updates from Ray. But thanks for coming, Ray, and I'll see you next week. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye,
Thanks for
guys.
stopping in.
Bye, guys. Cheers.